So Jaire Alexander, cornerback for the Green Bay Packers, is done for the season. I was really hoping he would return for the playoff run they're about to go on because I feel like he would be a very valuable asset for them during the playoffs. I think, personally, when he's on the field, when he's healthy, and I know that's a rarity, I feel like he's the one of the best corners in the game. I feel like he's top five. When he's on the field, when he's healthy, when he's going, I feel like he's top five. But problem with him, he's been pretty unhealthy the past few years. And it is a knee injury, and he has been out since week 12, tore his PCL in week 8, and he tried to come back in week 11, but re-aggravated it, and he's opting to get season-ending surgery. He finished the year with 2 picks this year in only 7 games, and he has now played 7 games or less in 3 of his last 4 seasons in the NFL. Now, of course, a lot of Green Bay Packers fans are pretty upset with Jaire, just because he's been very injury prone the last 2-3 seasons, and I totally get it. He got a pretty good contract recently, and since then, I would say he hasn't really lived up to the bread he got in that contract. And a lot of people are calling for his release in the offseason or for him to be traded. I feel like that's very likely. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know what Jaire is like in the locker room or off the field, or if he's a good teammate. I feel like that would really dictate whether or not he does get waived this offseason. I'm not sure what the salary cap implications of that move would be, but the best availability is availability, and if you're not available, especially when the Green Bay Packers are kind of in their Super Bowl window with that Jordan Love contract not really hitting just yet, and plus all their receivers are on their rookie deals as well, they really need to go for a ring right now, because once you start paying those receivers, those tight ends, and that Jordan Love money really starts hitting their cap, the talent around them isn't going to be as deep as it is right now. I mean, come on, man. Their receiving room, they have 2 great tight ends as well. It's a loaded offense, very dangerous offense, man. And I'm really excited to see what they do in their playoff run this year. It, of course, turned a lot of heads when they blew out the Dallas Cowboys on the road last year in the wild card round. I thought that game was very predictable, in my opinion. Dallas, McCarthy, Dak Prescott, just truly choke artists, and that game was predictable. But then they played the Niners and just barely lost against them. Really, that game was super winnable, and how crazy would that have been? NFC Championship in Detroit, Green Bay versus the Lions. That would have been a nuts game. And who knows, man, we might see that this year. You never know, never say never. Could be a possibility. But I'm telling you, as of right now, the Packers are a 7th seed after losing to the Minnesota Vikings. This team is not a 7th seed playoff team. If they were in any other division, they would be probably more than likely in the top 4 seeds, but just because of how crazy the NFC North is, they're currently the 7th seed in the NFC. And I'm telling you, whoever plays them round 1 in the wild card round, they're definitely not going to want to match up against Green Bay. This team is just very deadly, and I feel like we're going to see that. As of today, they're matched up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know the Eagles would rather play the Commanders than the Packers. If you would rather play the Packers than the Commanders, let me know why, but I just feel like that would be kind of a pretty insane take, in my opinion, but let me know what you think. But yes, if the Eagles do end up actually playing the Packers in round 1, first of all, that's an insane matchup round 1. That should be a round 2 matchup at least, or the NFC Championship game. I know that might be a bit of a hot take, but I'm telling you, these two teams are very, very legit, and That would be a crazy, crazy game just for the opening round of the playoffs. Now, of course, the Eagles would be favored in that game. Home team, better record as well. But don't be shocked if the Packers pull another upset in back-to-back years in round one. I feel like it would definitely be a tougher opponent than the Cowboys from a year ago, but still, Sirianni, the pressure of not going one and done again from the Eagles' perspective. Last year, being blown out in Tampa Bay was really embarrassing, and Jalen Hurts is kind of coming off of that concussion injury, hasn't played in 2-3 weeks now. So I'm telling you right now, man, that's a good spot for Green Bay. That's a very, very good spot for them to play upset. And just for fun, if they do play them, that means the Commanders would be playing the Rams. I love that matchup so much for Washington, because if Washington had to go to Philadelphia, I really wouldn't have a lot of faith in them to get the job done. But I feel like the Rams, I feel like it's definitely a lot more likely that they could get the W, and I hope they do, and I think they will if they play the Rams. And the last matchup in the NFC wildcard round would be the Buccaneers hosting the Vikings. Fun matchup right there. I would definitely go with the Vikings. And if all my predictions come true, that would mean the 7th, the 6th, and the 5th seed would advance. So that would mean the Lions would host the Packers in round 2, and the Vikings would host the Commanders as well. So either way, man, I feel like this year's playoffs are going to be extra, extra good. I know they're good every single year. Every single week in the NFL is a good time. The best of the best, most entertaining moments, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit extra juice this year. I mean, all those matchups in the NFC are really, really fun. Definitely more intriguing than the AFC matchups, in my opinion, because as of right now, first round of the AFC wildcard round is Buffalo hosting the Broncos, Ravens hosting the Chargers, and the Texans hosting the Steelers. Honestly, Texans-Steelers game is a coin flip. Both teams aren't that impressive right now. Ravens-Chargers, okay, I could get behind that, but I feel like Jim Harbaugh is going to have a heavy run attack for that game to just drain the clock out. I don't expect a lot of high scoring in that game, but who knows? I could be wrong. And then for the Broncos and the Bills, that could just be a blowout game. So we'll see how it all plays out. Let me know what you think about Jaire Alexander being out for the year. Should the Packers release him in the offseason? What would you do with him? And do you think he's a top 5, top 10 corner when healthy? And do you think the Green Bay Packers can play upset in round 1 in back-to-back years? Let me know. If you made this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Really catches the defense off guard, so you can get an easy gain and get the momentum on your side and get it rolling. 2nd and 9. Look at that concentration as he makes the grab. Mark him down for another reception. The Jets, that time, they can't get big yards, but the throw and catch picks up a few, and his 3rd down's much easier with this situation. Out of the shotgun. Jeremy Curley with the catch. Gains about 3. Good job by the offense picking up a 1st down there. They've been terrific all day long. They're winning the football game, and they are tiring this defense out. 1st down here after the completion. The grab is made by Ivory. Gets about 9 on the play. The Jets have been awesome today on 1st down. That time it's a nice play design. They throw the football, it picks up solid yards. 2nd and short. Boy, that's what every offense likes to be in. 2nd and short. And Ivory is taking the handoff. And they advance the ball onto the other side of the field. The Jets are really a true football team. Their defense, we know it's good. They don't want to just rely on it. The offense, nice job picking up that 1st down, eat the clock up, keep the pace of the game on your side. Small lead here in the 2nd half. That was a good job. It's Marshall. Marshall's tackled down at the 36. A lot of times you look at the drag route and you think that's the safety valve. You know what? It is. The quarterback is always taught to look down the field. If there's nobody open, throw it to the drag route coming across the field. That time they did it, it was just short of getting the first down.
He's averaging 5 yards per carry on the day.